Hello and welcome to another edition of the RockCast, a podcast made by Rockhurst students for Rockhurst students. And those Rockhurst students right now are getting into the spring semester, getting settled back again. So we're going to have another special edition here today until we get back to our regularly scheduled student-hosted podcast. So today's edition is going to have an interview with Mariah Schneider. Mariah is an accounting student, and she's got a great story. She is pursuing her accounting degree and then is going to stay at Rockhurst and get her MBA. She started school a little later in life. She had been working as a server for the past 10 plus years at Jalapenos in Brookside, as a server, as a bartender, as a manager. And if you have not been to Jalapenos, it is fantastic, by the way, not too far from Rockhurst, whole bunch of stuff over there in Brookside. Jalapenos has some of the best chips and salsa in the city. The chips are near perfect, not too thick, not too thin. Salsa's fantastic, and their jalapeno dip is one of the best appetizers you'll find at a Mexican restaurant in the city also. But this podcast is not about jalapenos food, though it could be. This is about Mariah and her journey. And part of her journey is when she was at Rockhurst, she was introduced to a lot of internship opportunities. So what started as trying to get an internship ended up as choosing among several internships of what specifically she wanted to do and the timing flexibility each offered, and then already lined up something for next summer. So she is well on her way to her career, which, as I mentioned, is going to include an MBA. So here we go. Here is our interview with Mariah Schneider, an accounting major, accounting intern, future MBA graduate. Can you talk a little bit about yourself, hometown, family, working at Jalapenos, I read?
Yes, so I have been at Jalapenos for, this was my last year there. So it would have been 11 years this year. I started out as a server when I was 18 and just kind of did that, and bartender into a management position, just kind of a part-time position for the management spot. And then Jalapenos played a huge role for the last decade of my life. I mean, it's just been a great place to work for. I feel like I picked up a lot of the skills to take on to anything else that I do, just being there. So I'm really grateful for Jalapenos in that sense. As far as personally, I am from Kansas City. I was born and raised here. I just recently had my first baby this year, so I'm a new mom as well. I started out my college path at Metropolitan Community College at the Longview campus, did my associates there, and really I wasn't sure, where I wanted to transfer, but I joined the National Honor Society with MCC, and really opened up a lot of doors. And I worked with a lot of people who are also Rockhurst alumni, and they always wanted me to check into Rockhurst because they just thought it was the best. And so I always wanted to, but whenever I joined that honor society, they offered some transfer scholarships that really opened up the door to make it feasible for me to be able to go to Rockhurst. And so I was really, really excited to apply and be accepted and transfer. And during that process, Taryn, at the time, she told me to apply for this scholarship they hand out to transfer students, so the trustee scholarship. And I did that, and I was awarded that for the full tuition scholarship, and that just was life-changing. So that is kind of my story for my college path, and kind of what I've been doing for these last few years. So.
Okay. Was your associates in accounting or business related, or?
Well, it was just the Associate of Arts, liberal arts degree. Yes, to kind of get everything out of the, I needed to transfer over, but I did kind of do a business emphasis. So I did all the accounting and economics and, all of those courses to set me up for the accounting degree at Rockhurst.
Okay. And when did you start at Rockhurst? You remember what year or semester?
Yeah, it was fall semester of 2020, right in the middle of the pandemic. I know that that kind of sucked because I was really excited for the full campus experience, and it was kind of the Zoom synchronous, asynchronous at that time. But we're getting back into the swing of things, so hopefully.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And when are you projected to graduate?
It will be, my undergrad will be fall of this year, 2022. And I'm going to immediately start my MBA.
Great. Okay, so you are going back to last year and then into the spring and then the fall here. You are pursuing an accounting degree and you're talking with Tina. And how did the whole journey toward these internships come about?
Starting out, I really had no idea how this process was going to work. I was kind of overwhelmed and kind of nervous about it. Tina was a godsend. I mean, she was so amazing and so helpful. And Mike has been too, now that I've been speaking with him more. So when my very first semester, I was a junior and they were doing Meet the Firms virtually, and she kept telling us that, they'll hire a year in advance for their interns. And so to make sure you stay on it and make sure you're looking into it and do some mock interviews, get yourself ready, get your resume ready. So I just did that. I made sure my resume was updated and kind of in a format that is acceptable now without a template, things like that. Made sure I had it all the right way. She was very helpful with that. Always looked it over, always, proofread it, checked it out, made sure everything looked good, solid. She also knew that I was working in Brookside at Jalapenos. And so, she would send me little emails about maybe a local firm that was offering some internships. So that was really helpful. I always stayed on the Simplicity app, the app that Rockhurst posts all of their job opportunities on. I was on that all the time. And I always was checking. Mike would send out the emails with the updates. I'd get on to see if there's anything new. And there were so many opportunities for accounting internships just on that alone. That's where I found both of the internships that I'll be in was from that app that Rockhurst offered, the Simplicity app. I also did some of my own research just online and found some other places that weren't on the app, but when it came down to it, I mean, everything was so conveniently put right there for you. I mean, they would do the campus interviews. It's like they wanted to come get Rockhurst students specifically, is how it felt. It was really nice. It was really nice. And also any questions you ever had were answered quickly with Tina. Now Mike, he's the same way. And I was sad that went on. I'm gonna miss her very much. She was just so helpful, but I'm happy for her too. So
sure. Now, how have classes been for you so far at Rockhurst, and specifically offering you a little bit of variety on this and that around the accounting major and business in general?
I think it's been great. I've enjoyed all of my classes. It's really nice that they offer like different ones you can take. It's not just kind of you have to take this, and this, like depending on what you're interested in, as far as some of the core classes that I needed to take. I mean, there's tons of them that I can just choose what I'm more interested in instead of like, I have to take this specific one. I mean, of course you do for accounting specifically, which have all been great. All of the instructors that I have are awesome. It's kind of for the accounting specifically been the same instructors, which is nice because then you really feel like you get to know them, feel comfortable in their class, and, reach out to them and kind of have that relationship, which is, I think it's something that any student needs, which is why I prefer on campus over, like online courses, because I just like to be able to ask questions and get feedback right then. So that's been really nice, being able to get to know your professors. I really enjoyed that, and the smaller class size. That's also one thing with Rockhurst that meant a lot to me, is that their class sizes were much smaller than a lot of other universities. So, and as far as the electives, there's so many courses they offer that to choose from that I find interesting. Like, I got to do this semester, I'll do the Excel certification, which is going to look great for my resume and moving forward. And but I didn't necessarily have to take that if it wasn't something I was interested in. So I really appreciate that. So.
Okay. And then you were offered some part-time positions or part-time internship positions at Reller CPA, BKD, and Mariner Wealth Advisors. So those all came in. How did you choose BKD? What went into that for you?
Yeah, so for spring, out of those three, I had to do part-time, and that's kind of hard to find for a tax season internship because it's extremely busy and they want somebody to dedicate full-time or overtime. So those were the three that would offer 30 hours or less a week. Mariner was 30 hours minimum, which would have been a kind of a stretch for me. I'm also doing a full-time semester, but I was willing to definitely look into it. But then when I had the other offers, BKD, when it came down to it, BKD all around was just really everything that I needed. Obviously I'm not going to be working at the restaurant anymore, so I needed something that I could financially, supporting as well, which played a huge part with choosing BKD over Reller or Mariner. Mariner was also, it was great as far as the hourly wage goes, but I just think I needed a little more flexibility with BKD only wanting 20 hours. And that was great. And they said I could work more if I had time. And I really, really appreciated that. Reller was the same way. They, said 20 hours would be fine. If I had more time, I could come in, no worries. But I went ahead with BKD just because of the other opportunities that they had and that best fit me for this certain time in my life. So.
Okay. And then you have an internship already lined up full-time for the summer with Myers and Stauffer. Is that
yes?
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And how did that come about?
So I was also I applied for a couple. It was CBiz and Myers and Stauffer, which Myers and Stauffer is like a part of CBiz essentially. They're in the same office. Everything. It's like CBiz is still the one that sends out the offer emails and things like that. But I was really, really excited about Myers and Stauffer because they, in the longer term, their company offers a lot of flexibility when it comes to scheduling. You don't necessarily have to work a season that's mandatory overtime, 60-hour work weeks. They don't do that there. That was really appealing to me because I am starting my family right now, and I would like something that is really flexible as I move further along. And so I thought it would be great to, be able to intern with them, kind of learn more about their company and see if it would be a good fit for me longer term, having that flexibility. Whereas BKD is, definitely you'll have a busy season and it's a great company as well. And a lot of people will go to BKD, especially from Rockhurst. And so I wanted to be able to experience that too, just to see in the long run, which ultimately would be better for me.
You had mentioned that you are going to go right into your MBA when you finish your undergrad. What is your ultimate career goal? If you could write the script for the rest of your professional career, how would you like to see it play out?
What I would like to see, I would like to do my 2 internships and then stay on with one, at least maybe part-time or something until I can finish my undergrad. And then I would love to just be a permanent somewhere full-time while I do my MBA. Also, I want to complete the CPA, sit for the CPA as well. So that's going to be, a very busy season with MBA and CPA prep. But like I said a little earlier, I have to work. I have to be able to have an income, and support myself and my daughter as well. And so I am just so very eager to find something permanent, and I'm willing to work as hard as I need to be able to, work and finish my MBA and CPA. And I'm just ready to go full on full-time with somebody as soon as I possibly can. Is kind of just what I'm looking for right now. Hopefully longer term, I would like to stay with one company, and work my way up in advance. And that's another thing I was looking for in a company is like, how much growth opportunity is there? With both of those, they have plenty of opportunity to grow with the company, and also even kind of move around to some different departments or different areas of work. If maybe tax or one specific audit isn't for me, they have other opportunities as well. And so that's something that really meant a lot for me. Is I just don't want to be kind of stuck in one position longer term. I want to be able to really, really grow and do as much as I can.
Excellent. Any advice that you would have for anyone who's, a little bit later after high school, trying to get back into school and specifically the business realm? Any advice that you would give now that you've been through your journey this far?
Yeah, I would definitely say just do it, just get started, even if it feels like it takes forever. Just keep going because you will eventually get there. And because I know for myself, I feel like I've been doing this for so long, but now that I'm here and I can see the light at the end of the tunnel, it feels amazing. And so it's just so worth it. It's so worth it. And besides just being able to finish a degree and start a new career path, it's really nice to just see your accomplishments along the way. And that's just right alone amazing to me without anything else. So it's really great.
Well, again, thank you so much and congratulations on all your accomplishments so far. And hopefully we'll talk to you soon.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much, Chad. I really appreciate it.
Yep. Have a great day.
All right. You too.
Thank you so much to Mariah for joining us on the podcast. And like I said, we're going to get back to regularly scheduled student-hosted podcasts here soon once the semester kind of gets going a little bit more. If this is your first time listening to the RockCast, thank you so much for joining us. And you can subscribe on Apple, Spotify, all the regular channels where podcasts are available. You can watch this on YouTube at youtube.com/RockHurstHawk. So for Bree and Sydney, who are normally here hosting the RockCast, this is Chad Schneider. Thank you so much for listening. Have a great week and let us know what we can do for you to help you learn more about Rockhurst University. Have a good one, everybody.